Stop the video right now if you still believe you a good person, because what you about to learn will permanently change how you see yourself, how you see others, and how you see the game you never realized you were playing. In 1503, a man sat alone in a prison cell in Florence, broken, tortured, humiliated. Everything he built gone. But in that darkness, something awakened in him. His body was defeated, but his mind, sharper than steel. And in that silence, he saw something terrifying. A truth about human nature so raw, so uncomfortable, that most people spend their entire lives running from it. But he wrote it down anyway. Every hidden rule, every silent power dynamic, every brutal pattern that separates the winners from the ones life eats alive. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli, and what he discovered is something most people will never accept. The people you admire most aren't kind. They're strategic. They're playing a game you don't even know exists. Right now, as you watch this, someone is reading you like a book, studying your kindness, your softness, your hesitation, measuring what you're worth, calculating how useful you are, deciding whether you're an asset or a target. And the painful truth, you're making it easy for them, because nobody ever taught you the real rules. You grew up believing kindness always wins. You were told honesty is the best policy. You were taught that good people finish first. But look around. Good people aren't finishing first. They're finishing exhausted, confused, drained, wondering why doing everything right still leaves them broken. Machiavelli understood something the modern world refuses to teach. There are two worlds. The first is the world they tell you about, where fairness matters, where hard work pays off, where being good is enough. Then there's the real world, the one you actually living in, where perception beats truth, where power decides everything, where the ruthless inherit the earth, and the righteous inherit confusion. You have been living with the rules of the first world, while everyone around you survives by the rules of the second. But today, that ends, because once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. Once you understand how people really operate, you'll never trust the same way again. And you'll stop being the victim of games you didn't even know you were playing. But this knowledge is a blade, sharp enough to protect you, dangerous enough to corrupt you. So before we go deeper, you must decide, are you ready to stop being naive? Are you ready to see the truth Machiavelli died trying to explain? If you want to understand why people walk over you, why they underestimate you, why they take advantage of you without guilt, you must start here. Your emotions are not your strength. They are your leash. And everyone around you is quietly holding it. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. In his time, showing emotion wasn't just a mistake, it was a death sentence. Kings, generals, princes, they never lost their thrones because of weakness in armies. They lost them because of weakness in themselves. Here's the truth you were never taught. The person who cares less always holds the power. Always look at any negotiation. The one who's desperate loses. The one who can walk away wins. Not sometimes, every time. Why does this happen? Because desperation smells. Emotion leaks. And people react to it, like sharks react to blood. You don't realize it, but you constantly broadcast your emotional state when you chase, when you seek validation, when you over-explain, when you argue to defend your worth. when you try to prove you're good enough. Every one of those actions whispers the same message: I need you more than you need me. And once someone senses that imbalance, even the kindest person, even the one who loves you, will unconsciously start valuing you less. Let me show you the brutal psychology behind it. Think of one person in your life who matters to you deeply. Someone you'd drop everything for. Someone whose opinion affects your entire mood. Now ask yourself, does their level of attachment match yours? Because if it doesn't, you're already at a disadvantage. If they know you care more, they have leverage. Not because they're evil, but because human nature responds to emotional imbalance the same way gravity responds to mass. The object that's more attached gets pulled. The one with less attachment does the pulling. Emotions make you predictable. Predictable makes you controllable. Controllable makes you weak. Machiavelli warned. Men are driven by their passions, not their reason. And a man ruled by passion becomes the slave of those who control it. Let us break it down with real examples. When someone insults you, your instinct is to defend yourself, to argue, to prove your value. But the moment you react emotionally, they win. Because your reaction proves they have influence over you. The powerful response: calm indifference. A simple, if you say so, then walk away. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know if they got to you. They lose the control they thought they had. When someone cancels plans, you try to be understanding. You reschedule immediately. You make it easy for them. But imagine this: they cancel. You simply say, no worries. And you do not reschedule. Suddenly, they're wondering, did they mess up? Did your priority shift? Did they lose their place? Your emotional detachment reshapes the dynamic instantly. When you attach your peace to people, you lose control of your life. People are temporary. Circumstances shift. Feelings fade. The only constant is you. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care with boundaries. You love with clarity. You give without losing yourself. True power is calm, silent, unbothered. You don't control the world. You only control your reactions to it. And the one who controls their reactions controls the game. Machiavelli's next rule: study people like prey, 'cause humans are predictable. Once you know what to look for. Most people think humans are complicated. They think everyone is unpredictable, mysterious, hard to read. Machiavelli knew the truth. Humans are simple, painfully simple. They repeat the same patterns over and over, and whoever sees those patterns first controls the interaction. People don't want to accept this because it destroys the fantasy that others are too complex to understand. But complexity is just noise. Beneath the noise, almost everyone runs on the same predictable programming. The brutal reality: people reveal themselves not through their words, but through the patterns they repeat. Once you learn to observe instead of react, you'll understand people faster than they understand themselves. And that alone gives you an advantage most people will never have. Step 1. Watch what they do, not what they say. Words lie. Behavior never lies. Someone says they're kind. Watch how they treat people who can't benefit them. Someone says they're confident. Watch how they act under pressure. Someone says they're loyal. Watch how they talk about others behind their back. A person's mouth can be a mask, but their patterns are the truth leaking through the cracks. Step 2. Identify their core need. Every person you know is driven by one dominant need: validation. They need praise and attention control. They need to feel in charge, security. They need stability, core, and predictability, superiority. They need to feel above others, belonging. They need acceptance from a group. Once you identify this core driver, you can predict almost everything they'll do. Examples: someone who needs validation. Praise them, and they'll follow you. Ignore them, and they'll chase. Someone who needs control. Give them choices, and they relax. Challenge their authority, and they explode. Someone who needs superiority. Let them win small battles while you plan the war. Someone who fears abandonment. Distance creates panic. Consistency creates loyalty. When you see the core pattern, you stop reacting to their behavior and start anticipating it. And anticipation is power. Step 3. See their buttons before they press yours. Every person has triggers. Maybe it's disrespect. Maybe it's being ignored. Maybe it's losing status. Maybe it's feeling stupid. Maybe it's fear of rejection. Most people don't even know their own triggers. But you will. Watch how someone reacts to being interrupted, being disagreed with, being complimented, being ignored, being challenged, being excluded. Their reactions reveal the blueprint of their mind. A person's trigger is the location of their weakness. A person's pattern is the map. A person's ego is the entry point. Step 4. Once you see the pattern, you control the outcome. Here's where people misunderstand Machiavelli. This isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness. Because the world is already manipulating you. You're just blind to it. If you know someone's pattern, you have 3 options. 1. Avoid triggering it to keep peace. 2. Use it to influence them, to guide the outcome. 3. Watch it silently, to protect yourself. The powerful choose intentionally. Naive react emotionally. Step 5. You have patterns too. If you don't study yourself, others will exploit your patterns before you even notice. What consistently triggers you? Rejection, being ignored, feeling disrespected, feeling not good enough. If someone can predict your reactions, they control your reactions. Self-awareness isn't a luxury, it's armor. There is a law in human nature so powerful, so universal, that it shapes every relationship you have. What is always available becomes invisible. You think people don't value you because they're ungrateful. Machiavelli would tell you the truth. They don't value you because you made yourself too easy to reach, too easy to predict, too easy to access, not appreciated, not respected, not desired, just expected. And what is expected is never valued. The law of scarcity applied to you. Why does a rare gem cost more than a common stone? Why does a celebrity's appearance create excitement? Why do people chase what moves away and ignore what moves toward them? Because scarcity creates value. Because distance creates desire. Because absence creates power. But you've been doing the opposite. Replying instantly, always available, saying yes to quickly rearranging your life for people who wouldn't do it for you, showing up even when they don't. Giving too much access for too little effort. You think this makes you loyal. It actually makes you forgettable. Presence means nothing without absence. Look at your life. Who do you think about more? The one who's always free, or the one who occasionally disappears? Exactly, the one who disappears. Because space creates curiosity. Curiosity creates attention. Attention creates value. People don't miss you because you're not worth missing. They don't miss you because you never leave enough space to be missed. How to weaponize your absence without playing games. This isn't manipulation. This is self-respect turned into strategy. Here's how you start. 1. Reduce instant availability. Respond when you choose, not when they demand, not to punish, not to play games, but to break the pattern where everyone assumes your time belongs to them. 2. Become busy with your OWN life. Absence only works if it is real. Fill your time with goals, hobbies, work, solitude, improvement, gym. Learning a full life creates natural scarcity. 3. Stop explaining yourself. The more excuses you give, the more you look like you're trying to justify your worth. Silence is stronger than explanation. I'm busy right now. I'll reach out later. That's enough for. Disappear when you're taken for granted. Don't announce it. Don't argue. Don't threaten. Just pull back quietly. When someone starts asking, "Hey, are you okay? Where have you been? Why didn't you answer? K, what happened?" That's when your absence is working. 5. Dante chase. When others pull away. Machiavelli understood this psychological truth. People respect boundaries they cannot break. They exploit boundaries they can. When someone withdraws, step back, not forward. When someone gets cold, don't get warmer. When someone becomes distant, give them the distance 10 times over. You match the energy, not magnify it. The result: your value skyrockets. 3 things happen when you master strategic absence. 1. People stop expecting you to be on call. They start respecting your time. 2. People wonder what you're doing. Curiosity becomes fascination. 3. People chase your presence because it no longer feels guaranteed. This is not a trick. This is human psychology. There is a brutal truth most people never realize. People don't see you as you are. They see you as the story they've created about you. And if you don't control that story, someone else will write it for you. That is the heart of Machiavelli's wisdom. Not manipulation, not deception. Control of perception. Because perception decides how people treat you, the opportunities you get, the respect you receive, who believes you, who follows you, who doubts you, who fears losing you. Here's what Machiavelli understood. Reality is slow. Perception is instant. The world judges instantly. He wrote it plainly. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Meaning, the world isn't reacting to you. It's reacting to the version of you they see. And that version is something you can shape. Why you feel invisible, the real reason. You think the world overlooks you because you're not talented enough, not attractive enough, not successful enough, not loud enough. But the truth: you've let others define your image. You've let your silence speak for you. You've let your humility erase you. Reality doesn't promote you. Narrative does. 2 people with the same skill will be treated completely differently depending on how well they present themselves. One stays ignored. One gets respected. Same ability, different narrative, different life. So how do you control the narrative? Not by lying, not by pretending, by framing. Here are the laws. 1. Never present yourself casually. When you downplay yourself, it's nothing. I just tried. It's not a big deal. People believe you. They assume you have nothing worth noticing. But when you frame your effort, I'm proud of what I'm building. This took a lot of discipline. I've been working hard on this. People take you seriously. Your tone tells the world how valuable you are. Master the power of selective silence. What you dainty reveal is sometimes more important than what you do. People fill the gaps with assumptions. And they almost always assume 3. Always speak with purpose, never emotion. When you explain emotionally, you sound unstable. When you explain strategically, you sound powerful. Replace, I hope you like this. I don't know if this is good. I'm trying my best. With, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. This is what I want. Facts, not feelings. 4. Frame every weakness as strategy. You weren't quiet because you were insecure. You were quiet because you were observing. You weren't slow to answer because you were unsure. You were slow because you were thinking. You didn't leave the room because you were overwhelmed. You left because you protect your peace. Same behavior, different narrative, different power. 5. Make your wins visible, but not desperate. Don't brag. Don't beg for validation. Just show momentum. People trust consistency, not noise. Why this works? Humans judge by shortcuts. Your tone, your presence, your reactions, your silence, your confidence. All of it forms the narrative faster than truth ever will. Control these, and you control how the world treats you. Let me tell you something harsh. You are giving too much. To the wrong people. In the wrong way. For the wrong reasons. You give because you're kind. You help because it feels right. You say yes because you don't want to disappoint anyone. And while your heart is good, your strategy is tragic. Because in the real world, unfocused giving is not kindness, it's self-destruction. Not because giving is bad, but because giving without strategy makes you forgettable, expendable, and eventually invisible. Cunchi. This is where Machiavelli changes everything. He believed generosity was essential, if used sparingly, selectively, and intelligently. He said something brilliant. Benefits should be given slowly so that they may be more appreciated. Meaning, help in ways that create impact, not habit. Help in ways that create gratitude, not dependency. Help in ways that create connection, not exploitation. This is how powerful people build loyalty. Not through intimidation, not through manipulation, but through strategic reciprocity. The hidden rule of human nature. Humans have a psychological reflex. When someone helps you unexpectedly, you feel compelled to return the favor. It's unconscious, automatic, wired into our survival instincts. And Machiavelli knew this better than anyone. The person who gives with intention never runs out of allies. But the person who gives blindly runs out of energy and becomes a doormat. Asterisk. So how do you give strategically? 3 laws you must master. Asterisk. 1. Give to the right people. Not everyone. Some people multiply your effort. Others drain it. Ask yourself, does this person appreciate help? Do they ever give back? Are they loyal when it matters? Are they someone worth investing in? If the answer is no, your energy is not an investment, it's a donation into a bottomless pit. Strategic giving requires filtering. You're not meant to be a resource for everyone, just for the few who value you. 2. Give in ways that actually matter. Most people give mindlessly. Free time, emotional labor, constant advice, endless availability. None of these create loyalty, but do something specific, memorable, and unexpected. People don't forget. Examples. You connect someone to a valuable contact. You help them solve a real problem. You support their project publicly. You give them information that helps them win. Small acts. Maybe. But in the psychology of reciprocity, they're massive. 3. Give, without bragging, or keeping score out loud. The moment you say, I did this for you. You owe me. After everything I've done. You've destroyed the effect. Real influence is silent. You give, you walk away, and the other person carries the unspoken obligation. They remember, they feel it. They hold it inside. When the time comes where you need support, they step forward not because you demanded it, but because you triggered the most powerful human instinct, the desire to return what was given. This is how loyalty is built. This is how alliances form. This is how powerful individuals rise, not by force, not by fear, but by calculated generosity. Why this works? Because strategic giving creates 3 things: respect, gratitude, emotional investment. People protect what they feel indebted to. They support what has supported them. They defend what has elevated them. When you give correctly, you don't gain followers, you gain allies. And allies are the strongest currency in a ruthless world. There is a silent advantage that almost nobody understands, yet every powerful person uses: the ability to be unreadable, not mysterious, not secretive, not distant, unreadable, meaning, people can see you, but they can't predict you. They can talk to you, but they can't manipulate you. They think they know you, but they can't control you. And the moment you master this, you become a different kind of human, a more dangerous one, a more respected one, a more independent one. Why clarity makes you weak? You've been taught your entire life. Be honest. Be transparent. Tell people how you feel. Be an open book. Here's the truth. Open books are easy to read, and easy to read means easy to use, and easy to use means easy to destroy. People use your transparency to predict your reactions. They use your honesty to manipulate your decisions. They use your openness to weaken your position. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few know what you truly are, and that's the point." People should know your presence, your values, your confidence, but they should never fully know your plans, your weaknesses, your strategies, or your next move. What strategic ambiguity actually means: strategic ambiguity is simple. You appear clear while revealing very little. You answer without answering. You speak without exposing. You share without surrendering information. You are understood, but not predictable. You are approachable, but not readable. You are friendly, but not transparent. This is how powerful people talk. This is how leaders operate. This is how manipulators fail when they try to trap you. Here's how you practice it in real life. 1. When someone asks about your plans, weak answer: I am trying to do X, hoping for Y, and expecting Z. Strategic answer: I'm exploring a few options. I'll choose whatever aligns best with my direction. Quote. You gave them nothing to use against you. 2. When someone asks what you think of them, weak answer: I like you, but sometimes you do _ Strategic answer: you have interesting qualities. I'm still forming my impression. You kept the upper hand. 3. When someone asks where the relationship is going, weak answer: I want _ I feel _ I expect _ Strategic answer: I care about connection, and I'm seeing where things naturally lead. You remain emotionally centered and unpressured. When someone tries to pull you into drama, weak answer. I think she said underscore. Copy. I feel like he meant underscore. Strategic answer. I didn't see the full situation. I'm staying focused on my priorities. You escape the trap completely. The power behind ambiguity. Why does this skill make you powerful? Because it gives you flexibility. You're not trapped by your words. Safety. People cannot weaponize your honesty. Control. You decide what narrative others receive. Leverage. People chase what they can't fully grasp. Respect. Unpredictability creates authority. People fear what they can't calculate. People admire what they can't decode. People pursue what they can't fully understand. When you master ambiguity, Q. Stop being someone they read. You become someone they study. You stop being someone they predict. You become someone they prepare for. You stop being someone they use. You become someone they adjust to. That is real power. There is one truth about human nature that collapses the entire fantasy of unbreakable trust. People are loyal, until loyalty is no longer convenient. That's not negative. That's not cynical. That's human. Machiavelli watched kings fall because they trusted the wrong people. He watched loyal generals switch sides when the rewards changed. He saw best friends become enemies when opportunity demanded it. And from all of this he learned, loyalty that depends on emotion dies quickly. Loyalty that depends on benefit survives. If you don't understand this, you will keep getting blindsided by betrayal that was predictable. It's not that people are bad, it's that circumstances change them. So here is the real law of alliances. People stay loyal when it benefits them. They drift when it doesn't. And they betray when it's profitable. You can be kind, you can be good, but you must never be naive. Why blind trust destroys you? You trust people because they said the right words, they showed up once they feel familiar. You want to believe in them, you fear being alone, but trust built on emotion collapses the moment pressure hits. You say, he would never do that to me. Machiavelli would ask, are you sure? Or do you just need to believe that? Because here's the truth most people choke on. Good people betray too. Not because they're evil, but because survival always comes first. Your job is not to distrust everyone. Your job is to build alliances the way powerful people do, consciously, strategically, with open eyes. How powerful people build alliances. Strong alliances are built on mutual benefit, not blind loyalty. You help them in a way that strengthens both of you. They help you in a way that strengthens them. This creates a bond that lasts, because breaking it hurts both sides. Here's how you do it. 1. Study someone's loyalty under stress. Loyalty in comfort means nothing. Watch how they behave when money is involved. Pressure hits, someone else tempts them, you no longer useful. That's their true loyalty level. 2. Never give anyone full access. Never put all your secrets, power, or dependence into one relationship. Not your partner, not your best friend, not your mentor, not your boss. When you give someone everything, you give them the power to destroy you completely. Keep some things sacred. Keep some things private. Maintain self-reliance. 3. Make betrayal costly. This isn't revenge. This is design. Build alliances where They benefit more from staying with you. They lose more by turning on you. That's how you prevent betrayal before it happens. 4. Diversify your trust. One person should never hold all the keys. Spread your vulnerability across many relationships, so one loss never destroys your entire life. This is how powerful people stay unbreakable. 5. Accept the truth of human nature. Once you stop expecting people to be perfect, their imperfections don't break you anymore. You can love deeply and still understand that loyalty is conditional. You can connect strongly but still protect your core. That balance is true wisdom. The Machiavellian mindset of alliances. You're not becoming cold, you're becoming aware. You're not pushing people away, you're choosing better. You're not losing your humanity, you're gaining strategy. And in a world where trust is currency, you finally stop overspending. This was the final lesson. Now the real question is, how do you use all 7 lessons without becoming the monster you trying to defend yourself against? That's your transformation chapter. Say final chapter to receive it.